It is no secret that fans did not positively receive Dragon Age The Veilguard. For many, this title falls short of what they expected from the series. While the media has been giving the title high praises, it has been mixed at best for fans. As a person not heavily invested in the series, I will admit that it is far from the worst game I have ever played. I would say that the game is average or maybe even above average. A 6 out of 10 is the highest I can go, although I would not argue with a 5. However, many feel differently. IGN gave the title a 9 out of 10, stating that the game refreshes and reinvigorates a storied series that stumbled through its middle years and leaves no doubt that it deserves its place in the RPG pantheon. The next Mass Effect is going to have a very tough act to follow, which is not something I ever imagined I'd be saying before I got swept away on this adventure. Enjoyable action combat, a fantastic cast of allies with sweeping story arcs all their own, top-notch cinematics, and moving nuanced character writing are the wings on which this triumphant dragon soars, pulling out all the stops in a whirlwind tour of Northern Thetis and capping it with a terrific finale that's built on memorably tough choices and consequences. That certainly is high praise from IGN. For instance, online reviewers like Angry Joe left the complete opposite, giving the game a 3 out of 10. He highlights several key issues, including repetitive gameplay and a weak story, as a reason for the low score. Most people seem to be falling somewhere in the middle of IGN and Angry Joe. This, however, brings me to my next point, as some within the media believe that the bad reputation of Dragon Age The Veilguard is all thanks to YouTubers. There were these games on the PlayStation 2 and 3 called God of War. The directive mind behind this title is a man called David Jaffe. Despite what you think of him, he is a respected name in the gaming industry. In one of his live streams, Jaffe responded to a viewer statement when he said, "When you say the gaming community ruined this game's success, I don't think that's entirely fair, but I think there is a lot of truth to it. Really, at this point, all that gaming community that you are talking about has done is that they have made it so they have actually made games worse, which is what they say they are trying not to do. Because they have the charismatic grifters that make the videos that for whatever reason people respond to. People who have not played this game will hate it just because they're sort of told to hate it. And so, what does EA do next time? They don't make Stellar Blade. They just continue to sort of, vanilla the hell out of everything they work on and make sure that no one is going to have anything to complain about." He also said other crazy stuff when responding to some YouTubers, but I will focus on the above statement for now. Grifters did not destroy this game. If what developers put out is not enjoyable, people will criticize or ignore it. There is a reason why people dislike the IGN review and love the Angry Joe review. They played the game and agreed that they did not enjoy it. Dismissing all the issues people have with this title as grifting will leave you doomed to make the same mistakes with your next game. It is hard to say how much of a flop this game was. There are no official sales numbers on which to judge this title. However, analysts say that the title is undoubtedly facing an uphill battle. As per IGN, just looking at the first days of sales and initial engagement levels via Circana's player engagement tracker, it's been a good, but not great, launch. Dragon Age. The Veilguard did not reach the launch week sales levels of either Final Fantasy VIII Rebirth or Dragon's Dogma 2, and it will be a bit of an uphill battle to reach Inquisition's lifetime sales. But again, it's very early, and a lot of the story is left to be told. November will give us a much better read. It does not look like sales for this title are a complete disaster, but I will be shocked if there is much of a profit. One also needs to analyze this title and Veilguard's effect on future titles. One good game can set up a series of successful sequels, just like one bad game can destroy a franchise. The question now becomes, will fans trust Dragon Age after this? Most gamers will likely avoid another installment. It is also no secret that there were other underlying issues that many did not like. Specific social agendas are off-putting to many people who want to escape into the gaming world. Here I am referring to including trans and non-binary characters. This is a hotly contested topic for many, and it impacted how the fans viewed the game. I would love to say that game developers will learn from this experience, but we all know they won't. They will blame everyone except for those who created the title. It is your fault for not going along with everything they put out. If you were less of a bigot The Veilguard would have received Game of the Year. Ultimately, it is best not to pay too much attention to studios like this and instead focus on those who genuinely want to create a gamer-friendly experience.